Forget the generators, don't waste your money on big battery power stations. Inflation is high and money is in short supply. You want the most reliable plan possible to cover your most important needs. So on this episode of the Barricade Guard Show, I'm going to explain why I didn't include generators or large battery packs in my prepping supplies. And I'll give you my recommendations for what energy and lighting items you should prioritize. Let's get started. All right, let me state right up front that the recommendations that I give in this video will not be for everyone. The Barricade Guard is focused primarily on families, especially larger families. So the solutions that I've chosen for the problems that I'm trying to solve are not geared towards the lone wolf survivalist or those with unlimited disposable income. So with that in mind, let me walk you through my thought process for addressing energy and lighting needs. And to do that, I was primarily considering criticality, dependability, and value. Criticality. While electricity certainly provides comfort and convenience, it is not a true necessity in most cases. As I discussed in my medical and hygiene video, which I'll link to below, backup power might be a critical need for you if someone in your household depends on refrigerated medications or medical equipment like a CPAP machine. If that's the case, then you need to determine how much power you need and invest time and money in a reliable solution. But outside of those situations, the absolute need for electricity is generally low. You don't need electricity for gravity water filters or to cook food with a rocket stove. For more on these topics, check out my videos on water and food preps that I'll link to below. Dependability. Another complicating factor when trying to plan for backup power is identifying a reliable solution that you can count on when the time comes that you actually need it. When it comes to a lot of your other preps, as long as you plan and execute properly while acquiring and initially storing your items, they generally don't require a lot of thought or maintenance until you need to use them. For instance, as long as you package your food properly in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers and store them in sealed buckets, that food can sit for years without another thought. Or, as long as you set up your water storage and filter supplies correctly and have the tools on hand to collect water when the time comes, again, there's not much else to do until the emergency happens. But power sources are different. Combustion engine generators require maintenance and fuel. If the maintenance slips your mind as time goes on, or if you run out of fuel once the emergency happens, you're out of luck. And even if it does work, the loud noise is now telling your neighbors that you have a valuable resource, a resource that they might try to take by force, especially if they're desperate. So what about portable and home battery power stations? Aren't those the perfect solution? I do like them better than generators, but they bring with them their own concerns. First is charging, which is done by either plugging them into the electrical grid or using solar panels. Assuming you're buying this primarily for when the grid is down, you'll be relying on the solar panels. So what happens if you have heavy cloud cover for a prolonged period of time? Or you live far north of the equator and it's winter? Or the cable connecting the solar panels to the battery station gets damaged? Or the circuitry controlling the battery station or the solar panels malfunction? You see where I'm going with this. There are a lot of variables involved, and more variables mean more points of failure. Another thing to consider is battery health. If you have a cell phone, then you know what I'm talking about. When your battery is new, it charges to full capacity and life is good. But the more you charge it, the more the battery capacity degrades, and the less uptime you have between recharging. Eventually, this process renders the battery virtually unusable. If you're in the habit of trading in your phone every couple of years, you probably don't notice this too much. But if you've ever tried keeping your phone for 3 or 4 years or longer, you've probably felt the pain. And batteries degrade over time, even if you aren't using them. You can't just store a massive battery station in your closet or basement, forget about it for several years, and then plan to have the battery function like new when the day comes that you need to use it. Or, if the emergency situation was caused in part by an EMP, then your battery backup might not power on at all. And they are expensive. Value. If you want a portable power station that can provide enough electricity to power the things that most people are hoping to power, then you're going to spend several $1,000s just to get in the game. And if you don't already have solar panels, those are an additional expense as well. Or maybe you like to go big or go home, and you have your eyes on a solar roof and a Powerwall. By the time you pay for the equipment, the installation, the transfer switch, and miscellaneous expenses, you'll have tens of thousands of dollars wrapped up in this project. And again, the batteries degrade over time, and an EMP might render the whole system useless when you need it most. For most families trying to balance their budget and prioritize which preps are worth buying, the value proposition on these systems just isn't good enough. Look, if you found a great deal on a portable power station from Blue Eddy, EcoFlow, Jackery, or Goal Zero, and if you want to grab one of those along with a few solar panels just to have on hand in the hope that it will provide some comfort and convenience if it works, then that's fine. I'm not saying it's a horrible idea. I'm just saying not to put all of your eggs in the generator or battery station basket. Don't make electricity your only means of cooking food or purifying water. If you have power and it makes some tasks easier, great. But you want your survival plan to be more bulletproof than generators and battery stations. Recommended solutions. With all of that said, I do think there is a particular area where the value is worth the investment, and that would be lights, batteries, and small battery packs. The cost of entry is relatively low, and the ability to be able to see in the dark is critical to security. Getting started can be as easy as buying some inexpensive flashlights, headlamps, and lanterns, and then stocking up on rechargeable AA and AAA batteries. A lot of these items can be bought in bulk packs so that you can have spares in case some get lost or broken. These low-cost options are great for kids to use or to keep throughout your house and vehicles. Then, when you're ready to level up your lights, I'd recommend standardizing your high-quality light solutions on the Streamlight SL-B26 battery platform. Streamlight offers a variety of tactical light options in all sizes, with my personal favorites being their ProTac 2LX flashlight for everyday carry, the ProTac HL 5LX flashlight as a larger option for lighting up large spaces, and the ProTac rail mount HLX weapon light for lighting up and blinding your target. These lights all have rugged build quality and great reviews, and the added benefit of all using Streamlight's SL-B26 battery. This is a high-capacity lithium-ion rechargeable battery that is charged by plugging a micro USB cable directly into the battery. No special charger needed, so you can charge these batteries from any USB power bank. Keep a charged battery in each light and a few spares on hand, and now you have a versatile and robust tactical light platform that won't break the bank. I'll provide links to all these items in the show notes below. When it's time to recharge your batteries, you'll need a solar panel with integrated USB ports, and a USB battery charger. I'll include a few options in the show notes, but there's plenty of other reasonably priced options to choose from. The key here is that we are using less expensive solar panels and putting the charge directly into your batteries, rather than charging an expensive battery power station and then using that to charge your batteries, which is less efficient and costs more. And if you want to keep your batteries organized, I like this Craftsman VersaStack small parts organizer. It has larger compartments than typical battery organizers, which can be used to keep small power banks together with your other batteries. Then, if you want to add an additional level of protection, store these items in a Faraday bag or a homemade Faraday cage. You can make these out of metal garbage cans and cardboard, or aluminum foil and plastic bags, but that's a topic for a whole nother video. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I understand that what I've recommended here might not be the right solution for everyone, but for families that are prepping on a budget, I think this is a good place to start. So what do you think? Am I crazy for not going all in on large battery stations? How does your family handle their emergency energy and lighting needs? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from it as well. It really does help out me and the channel. Don't forget to follow the Barricade Guard on Facebook, X, and Instagram. The links are in the show notes below. And until next time, fortify your soul, body, and family.